Good evening and welcome to Gator's Garage, the home of all things historical and science fiction gaming in and around the great city of Savannah, Georgia. And tonight we're going to be delving a little bit into our science fiction side. As you can see from the background behind me, we have a Quar tractor, and we're going to be reintroducing, of course, the Quar to our audience, but also introducing a major realm of expansion for the Quar, the tractors, what we would call tanks in human parlance. But, the Quar don't talk anything like a bunch of hairy apes do. So instead of tanks, they have tractors, which interestingly enough, I think is what they first called some of the original tanks was tractors. And you'll still see, I know in some of the World War I literature, you'll see some of the tanks referred to as tractors. So there you go. And which fits right in with the Quar's theme because they are definitely more World War I, World War II, early World War II technology and mindset, and it's just a lot of fun. It's been described as a grimsical universe that's been around for about 20 years or so, give or take, maybe 15. But yeah, Joshua Qualteri introduced us to the Quar years ago with medals in 28 millimeter and 15 millimeter, and I think even 6 millimeter. So he and his little company Zombiesmith Miniatures kind of bobbled along and did pretty reasonable business. I know they released a video game which I didn't know about till I had gotten into the Quar myself, and I was like, that was a thing. It's first person Quar shooter game. How cool is that? So the game's been around a while. The lore is deep and well established. If you want to learn more about it, you can go over to Zombiesmith Miniatures and look at some of the rules and some of the print stuff he has and some of the resin stuff he has. Now, for plastics, of course, you want to talk to your buddies here at Gator Games and Books because we have all that. Everything that Wargames Atlantic makes in plastic, we have in stock. And we've been known to occasionally stock things from Zombiesmith as well, and always at discount. While we're talking about Gator Games and Books and supporting us, be sure to smash that like button. You know you want to, and share this with your friends. Share it with your enemies. Just share it. That's fine. Also, best way to support the channel is buy some merch from Gator Games and Books. Helps us stay on the air. So, what are we talking about again, Mike? We are talking about the Ailthean. I'm sure somebody will correct me. They always do on my Quarian tractor. So it's kind of a classic. It's got a main assault howitzer in the hull/turret. Kind of a different kind of vehicle from a design standpoint. The entire hull turns rather than it having an actual traditional turret. And just for extra fun, the transmission for the tracks and the turret are the same transmission. So when you go to engage the turret, you've got to stop and then turn your turret. And then when you have to start moving, you disengage the turret and you take off for the tracks. I'm going to be real curious to see how they introduce that into gameplay. The gun itself is, I think, a 78 millimeter howitzer, which in bolt action parlance would put it about light howitzer range. Originally designed as an infantry support tank, there is an option to make it more of an anti-tank vehicle. They've got a longer gun on the sprue that you can outfit it in. We're going to build the infantry support version, and since I don't have a camera set up where I can walk you through all the snips and clips, I took pictures and shots while I was putting the thing together, and I think I can kind of walk you through. First of all, of course, it's another Wargames Atlantic kit. Their quality is always really solid. Comes in at about, I think, $44. We sell it for about $39. So giving you that that discount on it. I think it's about a 10% discount we give you guys. Little thanks for doing business with Gator, and we'll save you a little bit. Some people say, hey, what about free postage? Sign up for the newsletter, get free postage. That's how that works. So there you go. And not just on this, but on everything. And we've got a few things like the Rifler's War Chest at $200. I do that at free postage. And so, I do my best to try and keep my lights on and give you guys good entry into the hobby and a good way to expand your enjoyment of this fantastic hobby that we all share together. So enough of looking at the box front. We can see that anywhere. Let's get my impressions of working on this thing. I'm going to do a similar video also for the Cofterian tractor, so be looking for that. That'll probably drop in the next week or two. And also, we're going to interview Mr. Josh, and we're going to interview Mr. Josh Qualteri this coming Monday. Probably do it. Probably record it and then drop it Tuesday. But we're going to have him. We're going to have him on, and we're going to talk to him about tractors, why we went with tractors, how they fit into the Quar universe, and where they're going with the launch of both the the rumored new starter set from Wargames Atlantic, and how they fit in with the other factions. Of course, the Fidwogs came with their own tractor, so we've already been seeing some tractors on our tables. This is kind of going to up the opportunity for everyone to add them. I'll be real curious to see what the tables of organization and equipment look like. I've been kicking around, maybe pulling together, depending on how many tractors are available to a given faction when we go to a larger game. I may even do a platoon box of like 3 tractors that have a little bit more of a discount. We'll see. But the big thing is, like y'all, I'm excited. Love to build models. I actually built 3 models this weekend, both the tractors and the other newness that's coming down the pipe. I built a walker for Conflict 47, and I'll be doing a video on that too. And that was fun. So let me tell you. But this is a core video, so I'll try and keep focused. So yeah, we're known, Wargames Atlantic is known a lot for their historicals and their science fiction. Gator Games, I think our cornerstone is historical, but probably the other stone of our business is what I like to call hard science fiction. Some might argue whether or not this is hard sci-fi. I would say it absolutely is, because other than being anteaters with guns, this universe works very well. The skirmish rules are one of the best I've seen. It's got a full range of options, everything from rifles to grenades, and I'm sure adding in the tanks or the tractors in this case is going to continue that tradition. The box comes with just 2 sprues, which is makes assembly nice. Some people might want more sprues, more bits or something for that price point. From my perspective, like I say, I put this together the same day that I put together the walker for Conflict 47. And from my perspective, less parts are definitely better. So there's not a lot of parts here, which is going to make this thing go together pretty easy. Everything is numbered. There are instructions on the back of the box. There are also instructions at my website, GatorGamesWayX.com, and also at the Wargames Atlantic website, which these, I can tell you from experience, would be a lot easier to read. You can print them out, blow them up, make the numbers a lot easier to see. I was squinting at the side of the box like a boob last night, and I'm like, gee, why do my eyes hurt? But we got it together, as you'll see. But there you go. So that's your instruction sheet. And there's one for this one, and there's one for the Koftiran one. So there you go. Oh, let's see here. Let's get that back in. There we go. So there's your 2 sprues. We will be using the Wargames Atlantic cutters and files to assemble this kit. I was initially kind of like meh about the war game hobby supplies, but I will tell you, I am finding them to be very excellent. Those cutters will trim very close for getting nibs off when you clear a sprue, and then the files really give you good tools to clear the rest of any flash or nubs that are left. So highly recommend it. Of course, I sell it, but even if I didn't, I'm really impressed with the quality of it. So you start off putting the tracks together. I mean, every tank, got to have it. You'll notice there's the brace there in the middle to put the what I'm going to call the transmission housing. It's kind of a catamaran style, I guess, from that perspective. So we start with the tracks. Watch the direction on the tracks now. You'll see that there's 2 very distinct ways the wheels work. I looked, because I could have looked at the numbers, but that wouldn't have been any fun. So I looked at the illustrations real close to make sure I got them going the right direction. There we go. You can see I got the tracks together. Yay me. And there's part of the transmission box that we're getting ready to tackle next. So I'm building it from the tracks up. You might choose to do it different. I like to get my armored vehicles on a strong footing before I do anything else with them. So here we go. There's the transmission housing. I got the tracks attached to the transmission. One of the things I wrestled with, and I'm not even sure you can see it in the illustration here, is exactly which way that transmission housing goes. I made it work. I'm pretty happy with it. Looks like I got it right, actually. So looks like, yeah, that smaller part, that yeah, I've got to go in the right direction. If you look there and then you look on the instructions. So there you go. So hey, Mike pulled it off here. So there's the tracks. So now we have what's literally the foundation for the rest of the vehicle. You got to get this right. I hard mounted the hull to this part here so it does not rotate. You might could put it together so it rotates, but it's a big piece of plastic, and it's actually two big pieces of plastic. So I guess you could, if you didn't glue that hole, you could do the body. Maybe, yeah. I mean, but then you've got something that's sitting loose when you go to do the rest of the bits. I glued mine in place. Hey, and as always, if you've done something different here, if you think I could have done something different, if you'd recommend something different, drop a comment in the section below. Love to talk about hobby. Love to talk about Quar. Really enjoyed putting this together. My glue there is Tamiya medium liquid cement. I get really good results with that on plastic. I used to use their thin cement, but I had it come off too much on me. This medium liquid seems to be a really good compromise between that and then the goopy testers that just goes everywhere. So there you go. There's a good side shot. I've added one of the, so what's, you might say, what's changed? Well, I've added the front section, which is another large piece. So again, there's not a lot of fiddly bits here. Sometimes I know when building some of the Italieri kits from Warlord, you feel like you're in the auto factory. Not here. This is a gamer's piece, and I really appreciate that. All right, we've added the back section, we've added the turret, we've added the gun, and it looks so cool. So there you go. Haven't added the ladders and rungs yet, but here you go. I've got most of it now. I tend to do my AFEs with hatch closed. There is crew provided if you want to do hatch open. Probably if I end up doing a full platoon of each, the commander's track will be one with the guy open. There's the back side. I've got the steps to the hatch mounted. I've got a back hatch. I don't know when you would grab that unless you were like climbing up and over up the tracks and up over the hull of the tank there. But this is the back engine grill, and there's your engine grill. I'm getting ready to put that on. And there's the front, looking all bad. These were some miscellaneous packages. I put them up. To me, they look like stowage of some flavor. I put them up on front of the turret because I'm a tank commander. I want as many things between me and any incoming fires I can manage. Also, you'll notice this gun mantlet piece. That's a single. It's a very small piece. Again, going back to our instructions, it's this piece here, number 10. Quite fiddly. There's a couple little nibs to mount it to, but you'll really want to be careful when you're putting it on there. There's your two crew guys that you can have, one or two. There's only spot for one crewman up out of the turret, just like you would see with any other IFV. Got a driver's slot in the middle there, so there you go. And there's the driver's vision port, I guess there and there. Man, I'd hate to try and drive through this thing. Again, you look at this, and if you've ever seen, I probably could have included on the slide, but if you ever look at like the German World War I tank, or even the British or French, the Saint-Chamond, there were some really quirky AFVs that were first coming off the drawing boards. The difference between us and the Quar is the Quar AFV designs have not changed in 100 years, or at least not much from what the lore says. So very slow developing, mature technology. They don't advance very fast at all. If it works, I think they tend to stick with it both on the Crusader and on the Royalist / Koftrian side. So there you go. Again, a joy to put together. Absolutely enjoyed it. Instructions were clear, just had to squint at them. Like I say, you can find them on the web. Here's the backside with the grill mounted. Got the steps mounted there. Also have an exhaust pipe there. They include a flag, and on the Koftrian one, I think I put the flag over the engine port, but opted not to put a flag on this one. I mean, the Crusaders like, we don't need no flags. Go kill off them royalist scum. So there you go. But there it is. It's been put together. Next steps will be painting. Probably going to go with a basic olive green. May camo it. It's just so big. It screams to have some kind of camo done. So there you go. There's another side shot. There's your steps. What can I say? It's a tractor. It's ready for action. Took me maybe an hour and a half to put together, and I was really just kind of taking my time. Other folks might get it together more quickly. Again, not a lot of pieces to it. I can see there I got some more nibs. Maybe I need to snip off. I'll have to take a look at that when I look at the model next. But there you go. And here's the other side. Got that is there's nothing to add to that door. It is what it is. I thought there was another piece to go there, but nope. So I think just at first glance, this in a lot of ways, this tank reminds me of the Lee or Grant in our timeline that had the the big door on the side where you wanted the tank. It's like, yeah, shoot me here, please. So there you go. The Quar have a variety of anti-tank weapons, everything from some type of anti-tank torpedo to what looks like a Panzerbuch 41. So there's a variety of anti-tank weapons that can be brought to bear to try and knock these beasties out. There he is in front of the box. You can kind of see a comparison there. You'll notice on the box there's a couple of different color schemes. You got the kind of a World War One style camo there, almost that French style camo. Then you got one that's just a straight gray. So this is your you build this thing, it's your tank. Make it look like how you want to. Main thing is get you one, because I'm sure if you're playing Quar, your buddy's going to get one, and the arms race continues. There you go. That's it. Not a real long video. This wasn't hard to do. Pluses and minuses some of the pieces need a little bit of jiggling to fit. Don't be too sparing on the glue. You're going to want these things to hold together pretty good, especially that big 2-piece hull. That's kind of the foundation of what you're doing. Watch your illustrations again. Watch the track directions. I think I ended up having to pull the tracks apart and put them back together because I got them backward one time. So just watch your track directions. Take your time. There's no order on the instructions. You look at the instructions here and they're just like, here's how it all goes together. Like I say, what I did is I put the tracks together first, then the transmission, then the hull, and then mounted the items that were on top. Again, if you got suggestions, questions, man, feel free to add them in the section below. I'll have a link, of course, that we're taking pre-orders on these, 10% off MSRP. You want free postage, sign up for our newsletter, and we'll have this one and the Copter, and they're already on our website for pre-order. Looking forward to getting them painted. Like I said, this one I'm going to do camo, coffee in one. Well, we'll talk about that one when I get to it. Got any questions, comments, things you do different or better? Love to hear them. I'm sure there will be plenty of critiques of my modeling lack of expertise, but there you go. Also, this is 100% plastic kit. Don't know about y'all, but I am kind of glad to get away from metal and resin. Well, metal and resin is not bad. It's weighty. I like the lightweight of plastic. It makes it a little easier to carry. So there you have it. We're going to pull this off. Now you get to look at me. How about it? Thanks for watching. Like I said, this short one looks like it's going to come in around 25 minutes. Where are we going? Let's see. We got Josh coming in on Monday. Upcoming things for the store. We're going to be at Fall Offensive here in about 2 weeks in Ocala, Florida. Hopefully hosting a bolt action tournament. If you got questions on that, drop me a note. I'll have of course, our email address is always part of the videos. We'll also have full range of stock. If you want to come out and meet the Gator, I'll be there live and in person, and I'll have, of course, my Quar stuff with me and bolt action and anything else I can stuff into my van to take and show everybody. But this has been fun. I really, really enjoyed. Just took Sunday and kind of built models, and so you guys get to benefit from that. I don't think I've seen Josh did some video. I didn't watch it yet, but don't know if I've seen many people do assembly videos. Hope you found this helpful, and stay tuned. Like I said, we've got more coming, and we appreciate your support. Again, be sure to click that like button. That's that really feeds the algorithm well. Share it with your friends. And of course, best way to support the channel is buy some merch, or if you like, take us on as a monthly subscription, $5 a month. Buys a cup of coffee. Right now, I think I've got like 2 people subscribed. We get enough people on there, and you never know. I may have Patreon subscribers only that get certain special sales and discounts. But that's entirely up to you. It's your channel, and you guys tell me directions you'd like to go. With all that being said, y'all have a good night. I'll get this in the can, and it'll drop in a day or two. Talk to you later.